Hey everybody, it's Marwan Bambly here. There's something that I want to show you, so check this out. Can I switch this? I guess I can't, so I have to edit this video. I have to cut this video right here and then start a new one. Put the two clips together so it looks like this. That's what I want to show you. Check this out, what's coming to St. Petersburg, Florida, which is right around the corner from here. It's Festivals of Speed, and I can't wait to go to this event. If you're in the Florida, South Florida, not South Florida, Central Tampa Bay area, definitely check this out. And obviously you need to, if you love cars, otherwise you might not enjoy it as much. Okay, so let's get into the sketching. What I want to talk to you about today is, I think I have a plan, believe it or not, to create maybe step-by-step marker series from start to finish. So you start with very simple things, and then we're gonna end up with a render of some sort of product. I'm gonna try not to sketch a car. I can't promise you that it's not going to be a car, because sometimes I just can't control it. But that's what we're gonna end up with. So today I just want to talk about the tools you can use, and the tools that I use, what kind of markers I use. There are so many out there. I'm gonna show you all the ones that I have here. And yeah, just let's get started with some markers. So first of all, I think you all know by now that I use this big round stick. I think that stands for medium, I'm not sure. But the package for this looks like this right here, and this is probably some of the cheapest pens you can buy. So there's no excuse not to get started with sketching just because you don't have money, because these are like $1 for 10 of them. Now for the sketching paper, I don't like marker paper. I avoid it, even when I sketch with markers. I honestly just, and don't tell me this is marker paper. It says sketch paper. No, okay, I'm good. Otherwise I had to edit this video to cut out that. Anyway, so I like sketching papers like this. Regular paper. The most boring paper you can find, the more boring the paper, usually the better the results. So I use, all of this is just regular printing paper. This is nothing special at all. So it doesn't matter what kind of paper you're using. For some sketches, let me show you if I can find some of them. Here we have a few. You can use these kind of papers, which are toned to, it creates a really cool effect when you're using black and white on this kind of paper, because it's gonna pop even more since the background is not white from the start. So the white is it's just gonna get this crisp touch to it when you're using toned paper like this. And these definitely work with markers as well. As you can see, the white just pops more when you're using this kind of stuff, this kind of paper. That's a bit fancier than regular printing paper. But the point here is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of paper you're using. It doesn't really matter what kind of tools you're using at all, because the tools are just an extension to help you get the results that you want. And when you're starting out, you don't need the features that the more advanced tools have, since you're just starting out. So you don't know about those features yet. So start with the basics and just get some lines down on the paper to start with. So we're gonna start by just filling in a square with a marker. Just a rectangular square, if that exists. It does now, since I just came up with it. Now let's make something like that. Cool. For the markers, let's see. We have a ton. So we have the Touch New markers from Born to Sketch. We have the Pro markers. These I have used since college, back in 2007. We have the Copic Sketch. We have the Copic Warm, or just a regular Copic, but it is a warm tone. Let's just put all of these up here. Then we have Prismacolor markers. We have the Touch. I think these are, yeah, that's called Touch markers. Then we have these, which I seriously recommend staying away from, because these are, I never use these, and they are not good at all. The color doesn't match what's inside, the color that's inside, and it's just messed up. Some of them are dry, some of them are, you know, splashing all over the place, so don't use these. But all of these are great markers to start with. It doesn't matter which ones you start with. Obviously Copics are gonna be the more expensive ones. I think Prismacolors are pretty expensive as well. I can't really remember. Let's see if I have any more markers that I can show you. I think those are the ones that I have right now here. So what we can do, honestly I prefer these because they are great value for you. The performance is almost like a Copic marker. I can't really tell the difference, but the price is, I mean, it's huge. The only thing that's not, that these don't have, like the markers have, like the Copics have, is that you can't refill these. But to me, that's, I don't know, I never refilled any Copics anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I do like the Pro markers as well. They perform really well. And right now, I'm guessing this is gonna be completely dry since I just said that. And I was absolutely correct. Let's see if I can find another one, because this, I mean, remember that these ones are from 2007. It's ridiculous that they still have something in them. And Pro markers, I believe, I think this is a Pro marker, is it? I thought these were the same, I guess not. Pro markers are not expensive. They're really good value as well. Can't remember what they cost, but look at this. It's from 2007. Still has a lot of punch in it. And then we have obviously the Copic markers, which work fantastic. Doesn't matter if you use the sketch marker or the proper, the regular ones, but this seems to go dry, so I'm gonna use another one, which I have all my cool grays. Let's use a warm 8. Let's see what that looks like. So those are the Copic markers. And if we jump into the Touch New markers to just see the difference between these. See if I can find a warm gray, here, warm gray 7. As you can see, they are seriously great markers. And you know, you get these for Sketch 10 at Born to Sketch. You get these for 10% off, or any type, any order you place on the website, you get 10% off using Sketch 10 at checkout, no matter what your order is. And then last, I think this is last but not least, we have the Prismacolor. Yep. I'm not a fan of these. I know they are expensive, but look at this. Look at the tip there. It's so thick. So it's like a I don't know what. It's like a way thicker than I'm used to. Maybe I'm just stupid and bought the wrong markers, but I think the other side is just a regular fine brush, or whatever it's called. What is it called? I don't know. But they also, like, they put out so much color at once. Or actually, this one is kind of weird. Let me see. Let me see if the other one does the same. I don't know, they're just weird markers. They're like a crayon almost. Yeah, I guess you can make some cool effects with these, but they're not my type of marker. Which is why I use the Touch New, and why I will continue to use these for until something better comes along and that has a better value for the money. So what you want to do, let's start a new, those were all the markers. You can decide yourself which ones you want to pick to start with. I'm gonna put them all out here one more time. We have the Touch, that's the Prismacolor. What else? What else? Or those? That's it. Those are all. This one, and I guess this one is another one. So you have these to choose from. I would recommend Touch New, the Touch markers, and the Copic markers. Copic, actually not the Copics to start with. They're just too expensive to start with. So start with Pro Marker, Touch markers, or Touch New markers. Now let's start with the basics of marker sketching. I'm just gonna make a rectangle again. Add some nice rounded corners to it. And let's fill this in with some, yeah, why not use the purple that we have here. Lavender. Okay. I'm just gonna use one marker for this exercise, so it really doesn't matter if I'm starting with a light shade or a darker shade, but I'm more comfortable starting with a lighter. So let's start with that one. So you want to hold the marker just as you hold any other regular pen or pencil, whatever. It doesn't matter how you hold it, as long as you're comfortable with it. And you always want to sketch with your elbow, so you don't want to sketch with your wrist, meaning you want to lock the wrist, and then you want to move your elbow almost up from the shoulder, from side to side. You start from one side. You can either do this, go from one side, or you can go from one side, continue from the next, and just fill it out like this. Totally depends on what you're comfortable with. Both versions obviously work. Now the thing is, you don't have to worry about this line if you're crossing the line too much here, because we can always go back and fill in this, define the edges more once we filled in the main part of this thing. And if we missed some parts like here, since I just went from this side, from left to right, that means that the ink or whatever got thinner as further to the right we got, meaning we missed a spot here. We can just go back and fill it in from the other side. That's it. That's how you sketch with markers. And also speed is an important part of sketching with markers. The faster you go, the smoother lines you're gonna get. And also the faster you go back over an area where you already sketched with markers, the less variation in color you're gonna get. So if I wait now, for example wait for this to dry for another minute or two, or even right now, and I sketched with the same marker again, I'm gonna get almost like a second or 2 degrees, 2 steps darker shade than the original one. So the original one is here in the middle. We can see that it's lighter. So even if you don't have a lot of markers, you can still get some nice gradients and shades going. So let me see what happens if we add this marker down here, for example. So you can see the difference in shade just by using the same marker, but going over the same area a few times and just waiting for the area to dry. And if we, for example, want to have this part more light, we can either use, I think the best thing to use would be a white pencil. So we can just go ahead and do some line shading up here if you want to do that. And finally, we want to define the outline of this. So I like to use a black marker. Here we have a black one. To just fill in the outline of this rectangle to just make it clean it up. And you can fill it in all the way around if you want to do that, or you can fill in the lines that are in the shadow area. Very shaky there. Let me do it from this way instead. There we go. So in this case I have the sun shining from this area right here. And that means that these two sides are going to be in the shade, and these two sides right here are going to be in the have a brighter surface to them. So that means that we can even go back one more time and fill in the surface that is facing straight forward, just so we get the separation in shades between this. So we want to have kind of like an edge here. I think the main important thing when you're sketching with markers is to just don't be afraid of messing up. It doesn't matter if you mess up, nothing's gonna happen. Just go, just start over again, figure out what you did wrong, start over again, and try to not make the same mistake twice. You are gonna make a lot of mistakes. I mean, everybody does, doesn't matter what you're doing, what you're trying to learn. But I think the key is to not make the same mistake twice. So you always keep improving with each sketch and reflect on what you did and reflect on what you can do better for next time. So that's basically what I wanted to show you in this video, is just the basics of how to sketch with markers. So let me write that down. Number one. I think number one is speed. The faster you go with the marker, the cleaner the sketch is gonna be. So I rather go fast and miss this edge here. It doesn't matter to me, even though these are sticking out just like that. It looks cool. I mean, it looks nice with some sketchiness in there. I'd rather have that than going slow and getting different kind of gradients and stuff that I don't want. I'd rather have a smooth shade and some messy edges than the other way around. Two is go from start in the edges with your marker. Start on the edges. That means that you want to start, when you're starting out with the marker, you want to start by placing it right where you want the marker ink to start, and then you just drag. And you can go like this and then stop, put the marker down here, go back, or you can go from one side. Doesn't really matter. And the third point is how I know what I want to say, I just don't know how to, like, tools don't matter. That's an important one. It doesn't matter what tools you're using, as long as you're just doing it. So the more you do it, the better you'll become. You can read about it, or you can study it online and in this video, for example. But if you're looking at this video and you're not actually doing it, you're not actually sketching, then you're not going to be any better than you were prior to looking to the video. So that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and let me know what you want to see in the next video. I think I have an idea of where to go from here. We're gonna go into more complex shapes and start with some shading and how to get some gradients and stuff like that. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe and share it with your friends who love to sketch as well. I would really appreciate that. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you next time.